What's going on, everyone? My name is Max. I'm a communication skills coach. What I do on this channel is I look at all different types of people's communication skills. Today, I'm going to be reacting to Soobin plus Youngji. I've gotten a lot of requests for this specific video. I look forward to checking this out, and as always, if you want to watch my uncut reaction and analysis, all you need to do is go to my Patreon page. I've included the link in my description below. Let's get started with the video today. Can't wait.
이런 얘기 누가 해줘?
아무도 안 해, 아무도 안 해. 그러니까 방시혁 이장님 나 죽일 거야. 소희 씨, 싸울래요?
아니 망나니 맞네.
맞아.
아니.
Alright, so it looks like we're in for a fun conversation here, and from what a lot of people told me in the comments, you see sort of like a different side to Soobin here than you usually see, because a lot of the interviews I've watched him in, he's been on the quieter side.
나 이대로 못해. 나 너무 떨려서 못해.
Really?
좀 간략하게 해볼까 하는데요. 자, 제가 어저께 오늘 나올 게스트를 위해서
So she seems already like pretty drunk at this point. And if I know anything about Koreans and Korean culture, for the most part, they like to drink. That was something that I definitely took part in when I lived there. It hasn't even started and it's off to a good start.
누구예요? 아 잠시만요. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 몇 년 데뷔세요 혹시?
저 데뷔요? 저 19년도입니다.
19년도 데뷔. 19년도 몇 월 데뷔세요?
저
He's like attacking him right away. Attacking poor Soobin. I have it paused on him smiling there, so I'm sure he's absolutely loving it. But it is funny, like this sort of shy / flirtatious banter that I've seen some of these female hosts have toward the male guests. Like they're really like acting nervous and intimidated. I'm not sure what that's all about. Maybe that's just their way of showing their appreciation for them.
오늘 맛있다. 되게 맛있다.
맛있죠?
네.
제가 진짜 죄송한 게 저 원래 이렇지 않아요. 저 지금부터 정신 차릴게요. 약속.
원래 이러시던데.
제가 어저께
Man, Soobin's so cool, isn't he? He's so cool, calm, collected. He's very at ease. Like he doesn't seem put off or uncomfortable by the chaos. At the end of the day, he's a guy I've always said that seems very comfortable with himself, and no matter how uncomfortable the situation may be, if you're comfortable within who you are, you're gonna be okay.
공지 여기 진짜 본인 집이에요?
네. 숙소 생활하세요?
그죠?
범규 씨, 연준 씨,
오.
수빈 씨, 태연 씨,
오.
휴닝카이 씨.
오.
6명? 5명?
5명. 아, 방금 5명 말해놓고.
5명. 5명?
Soobin is showing his engagement through his listening skills here.
연준 씨,
오.
수빈 씨, 태연 씨.
오.
He's showing Youngji that he wants to be here, that he's impressed by her. So there's little signs off the bat of Soobin's active listening, his engagement, and his own admiration of Youngji.
아, 하루가 진짜 너무.
그럼 1시간 씻고 나오는 거예요?
진짜 1시간 칠 때도 있어요. 너무 분하니까 샤워를 하면서 계속 이제 되내야 돼. 그래야지 내가 좀 편히 잘 수 있어.
나는 그게 궁금했어. 진짜 엄청 힘들게 예를 들어 진짜 한 이틀에 2시간 정도 자면서 영통 팬싸를 하는 날이 있을 수 있을 거 아니에요.
Soobin really is coming across as a confident guy here. In some interviews that I've seen Soobin in, he's a little bit more on the soft-spoken side, but here he's really projecting his voice.
되내야 돼. 그래야지 내가 좀 편히 잘 수 있어.
Projecting your voice doesn't necessarily mean you're the most confident person in the world, but it can be a sign that someone feels more comfortable in a certain situation. And Soobin's a guy who's like really in tune with the conversation too, right? So even when the conversation went back to Youngji, even though Soobin was sort of in his train of thought answering his question, he was able to acknowledge and absorb the answer that Youngji had.
아, 하루가 진짜 너무.
그럼 1시간 씻고 나오는 거예요?
진짜 1시간 칠 때도 있어.
Soobin really is a very socially aware, engaging conversationalist in that way. So we're really seeing his skills come to life here one-on-one, right? He can be overshadowed a little bit more in a group.
2000년생이라고 들었어요.
맞아요.
12월생이라고 들었어요.
맞아요.
ISFP라고 들었어요.
네?
ISFP.
맞아요.
ISFP
어떻게
맞아요?
아세요? 네.
당연히 알죠. 이거 프로그램 돈 벌어야 되는데. 이거. 근데 술을 원래 안 좋아하신다면서요?
어떻게 알았어요?
검색하면 다 나와요.
사실 제가 좋아하기는 하는데
I like Youngji's honesty as well because She's saying things about Subin that she knows, and she's not trying to hide that she knows these things. She's not pretending like, hey, you know, what's your personality type? She knows it. I saw you're an INFP. I think that's cool, and I think it shows Subin that not only is she honest, but she's taking the time to get to know him. That probably makes him feel good. And that's something I tell people in a professional light all the time. If you're meeting with new people, you know, if you can do a little bit of research before on that person and bring that information to a meeting or an interview, that goes a long way.
머리에서 뿌리 자란 채로 승강장에서 저를 누군가를 기다리는 거죠. 그럼 그 기다린 다음에는
세계가 불타버린 밤 어쩌고저쩌고 있는데 불타버린 밤 어쩌고저쩌고 있는데
본인 곡을 보통 본인 곡을 어쩌고저쩌고라고 표현하는
그만 이번엔 좀 짧아요. 굿보이 곤 배드가 제목인데 사실 얼굴이 조금
Although it looks like he's got a really easy nature about him in the sense that he can laugh at things and laugh things off,
그래서 저를 기다린 누군가
he still has a sense of maturity, and I think part of his leadership is coming through here because he's doing a really good job explaining this message and explaining the concept.
하기로 유명하다며. 나도야.
그지.
나도야. 근데 난 그게 궁금해. 왜 안 역십해? 나는 이유가 있어. 솔직히 나는 내가 굳이 마지막으로 대답해서 어색한 기류를 만드는 것보다는 그냥 그 사람이 마무리해서 끝내는 게 좋다는 생각이 나는 좀 있어. 그쵸?
나는 약간 핸드폰을 보면 이제 위에 알림이 뜨잖아.
They're having a very, very good conversation right now. When I say that is because they both seem to be matching each other's energy. When we can reach that point of engagement and agreement in a conversation,
그지.
나도야.
I think that's probably a good sign that we're connecting and getting along. And they seem to be very excited about finding common ground and agreeing on things.
나는 좀 있어. 그쵸?
They're, in a way, wanting this conversation to work. So I think when people go in with the intent of wanting the conversation to work, there's generally a good chance of that conversation working, as long as both parties are on board.
한 명도 없겠네요?
친구가 안 그래도 없는
Right?
편이다.
Look.
네다섯
친구
명밖에
없어?
없는.
친구가 없구나. 나도 친구가 없어.
없어. 휴가를 받아갖고
I don't have friends either. What a funny thing to agree on. Like I said, they're looking for stuff to agree on, and when they find that similarity, they're bonding physically.
휴가를 받아갖고 집에만 있다가 오랜만에 뭔가 나가고 싶은 기분이 들었는데
그지?
연락을 했는데 한 명이 나 오늘 대학교 수업 있어 이러면은
없어지는 거야.
이제 끝난 거야. 그래서
그니까. 그럼
이게-
뭐해?
그럼 집에서 그냥 애니메이션 보고
애니메이션 어떤 애니메이션?
영지 애니메이션 봐?
아니요, 안 봐요.
Youngji listened. Subin said anime. She said what type of anime, and she just dug a little bit deeper into that subject.
애니메이션 어떤 애니메이션?
I always say this, especially on this channel. If we're having conversations with people, it's important to listen to their answers. Why? Not only to show that we're interested and engaged in the conversation, but so we have further questions to ask and follow-up questions to ask. You're giving yourself an opportunity to find out if there's other things that you can connect with on a deeper level with that person.
아니 이거는 봐야 돼. 이거 진짜 나 진짜 보면서 울 뻔했잖아.
나는 웃긴 게 방송이라고 생각 안 하고 얘기하는 것 같아서 난 그게 너무
아니 근데 이게 내가 약간 이게 좀 되게
And I was going to say, Subin does seem very comfortable here. He doesn't seem shy or awkward at all. Seems to be handling himself very well. I think Youngji's certainly helping in that.
영지도 집돌이라고 하지 않았나?
완전
그지?
어떻게 하세요? 죄송한데 어떻게 저에 대해서 그렇게 좀 많이
영지도 다 알면서 아니 무슨 나만 스토커 취급하는 것처럼 본인도 다 알면서
궁금스러운 게 어떻게 저에 대해서 그렇게 잘 아시죠?
그 유튜브 피드에 엄청 많이 떠갖고
제가 보통 알고리즘은 본인이
Subin returning the favor with the honesty here and saying, yeah, no, you pop up on my YouTube feed.
유튜브 피드에 엄청 많이 떠갖고
I've done my research, I've seen you, right? He's not hiding the fact that he knows stuff about Youngji. And that's something that I always preach. I always tell people, let people know. If you know something about someone, say it, right? It allows you to connect with that person more easily. It also shows your confidence. You're not trying to hide anything. Yeah, I'm not embarrassed. Yeah, listen, I saw you on the internet. I did a little research. I saw this. Obviously, there's a limit to it.
이들을 만났을 때 억지로 사회성으로 변하려는 모습 있잖아. 뭔지 아시죠? 약간 맞춰보려는 약간 모먼트들이 있잖아.
Yeah.
그런 걸 수빈 씨를 보면서 약간 많이 느꼈어.
그러니까 저는 약간 데뷔하면서 조금 많이 느꼈던 게 내가 연예인을 할 성격이랑은 조금 거리가 있거나 생각 싶었던 게 약간
왜?
일을 하면 할수록 애기들 맞추는 알파벳 레고 같은 거 있잖아.
Subin's being really honest and open here. Maybe the booze is helping a little with that, but we're seeing a different side to him here that I'm really enjoying, right? A really outspoken, unfiltered, uninhibited side to Subin. Feels like he's kind of letting us in here.
연예인을 할 성격이랑은 조금 거리가 있거나 생각 싶었던 게 약간
My personality is not a good fit for a celebrity. Well, that's an interesting thought. That's not something you hear people say every day, especially K-pop stars.
하고 몇 년 동안 좀 그렇게 생각했던 것 같아요. 나는 다른 멤버들보다 좀 덜 빛나고 멤버들에
진짜
비해
그렇게 생각했어?
존재감이 좀 덜하고 나는 약간 내가 이렇게 튀는 것보다는 좀 자연스럽게 묻혀있는 게 내 역할이 맞는 것 같다.
어떤 면에서 그렇게 생각했어?
일단 좀 실력에 대한 부족함도 내가 너무
Sounds like he knows himself, right? He knows he's not necessarily the super extroverted person who's going to put on a show, but he understands that his role might be more valuable if he's sort of by the side of the other members in his group and getting along with other members in the group. And I think that's true. I think he really does seem like a stabilizing force in TXT. And yeah, he's certainly not the loudest or most outgoing guy, but to me, he seems the most grounded, mature, and stable.
자연스럽게 묻혀있는 게 내 역할이 맞는 것 같다.
어떤 면에서 그렇게 생각했어?
일단
And then Youngji asking a good question
어떤 면에서 그렇게 생각했어?
and making it more of an emotionally based question. And oftentimes when we ask questions that have to do with our emotions, how do you feel? Why did you feel that way? What made you feel like that? It can elicit some more interesting, deeper responses.
자꾸 데뷔를 내보내버리니까 난 좀 더 연습을 하고 싶었는데 리더라는 자리를 맡은 것도 사실 그 자리가 너무 무겁고 좀 부담되더라고.
너무 잘해. 너무 잘해요, 진짜. 나는 보면서 너무 감동적이었어. 그 보면서 되게 왜 사람이
Subin has a good read on people, and I think although Youngji is expressive, enthusiastic, intense, and kind of wild in a way, I think he probably could sense that she is genuine and genuinely likes him and genuinely cares about him. So Subin felt comfortable enough opening up. So this has all of a sudden turned into quite an honest, vulnerable, really fascinating conversation. It's just cool that Subin gets to be away from the other guys for a little. We get to see him in this light as an individual outside of TXT.
중압감이 보통이 아니었을 거잖아. 방탄 후배다 이런 말도 데뷔할 때 그런 말들도 많았고 되게 여러 가지로 부담감이 많았을 텐데도 불구하고 너무너무 멋있다고 생각하거든. 근데 그 멋있다는 생각을 아무리 팬들이 수빈이 너무 멋있어 해도 어쨌든 내가 나를 그렇게 안 바라보면 남들도 나를 그렇게 바라볼 수가 없으니까.
맞아.
That was really good advice, man. And Subin was really locked in and taking her words seriously there. I think Subin sounds like he was really struggling.
이게 진짜 이거 나 아까 진짜 근데 아까 들으면서 약간 눈물 조금 날 뻔했는데 나도 잘 몰랐었는데 영지가 딱 하는 말이 내가 뭔가 듣고 싶었던 말이었나 봐. 영지가 진짜 말을 너무 잘한다.
That's crazy. That sounds like Subin like needed this almost. This was like a therapy session for Subin. I wonder if he kind of had this in mind going into this conversation that he wanted to open up to her. You know, it sounds like he was kind of looking for an outlet. He was looking for someone to open up to. And that's important. I've talked about therapy on this channel before, the importance of it and not bottling things up inside and having an outlet, having someone to speak to about whatever it is that's going on in your head. Very important.
뭔가 나다운 모습이었던 것 같고
진짜
사실 이게 나다운 모습이 이 솔직한 모습이 얼마나 나갈지는 모르겠는데
못 나갈 것 같기는 해.
여기 아니면 솔직히 이런 얘기 누가 해줘?
아무도 안 해. 그러니까 방시혁 의장님 나 죽일 거야. 아니 근데 어쨌든 빵 많이 가져가시고.
She seems like his older sister here. You know, she's taking him in like a sister, it feels like. That's so nice. What a lovely little relationship this is.
진짜 이러고 가는 거예요?
네. 제가 이게 편해서 누워 있는 거예요. 죄송해요. 제가 이게 편해요.
I'm just doing this because it's comfortable. She's funny, man. She is jokes. She's really sharp too, really smart, and clearly a genuine person. I like Youngji a lot.
진짜 고마워 영지야. 다음에 또 보자.
안녕히 가세요.
Yeah, it looks like Subin really appreciated that. When we show our vulnerable side, look what happens. You're able to connect so much more easily with other people. Now I feel like I know him more. So guys, as always, if you want to watch my uncut reaction and analysis all you need to do is go to my Patreon page. I've included the link in my description below. Other than that, my name is Max. I will catch you soon. Peace.